Welcome to Peep This Out Reviews with Ian K.
Stay frosty.
Stay frosty indeed. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Peep This Out Reviews on YouTube. This is the live edition of the show, obviously, or the replay if you're catching it on the replay right now. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I think I started that just a little early because I can't wait to get into this. I haven't seen you guys in like a week and a half, it feels like. Wasn't on last Friday. We'll get into that in just a little bit. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know you can hear me okay and see me okay. It is great to see all of you guys on here. You're beginning to filter in here currently right now. It is catching up. Very cool. And we'll have some more viewers in just a second here. We always give about a 5-minute or so window before we really kick it in. But great to see everybody on here right now. We'll go through the chat here to see who is available in the chat. Actually, there's a lot of you guys here. Let me jump on over. Great to see all of you guys on here. Thank you for being here. Tony A, Randy Molina, Lord Darkside, Tiffany Shields, Dante Reed, Matthias Venegas, and great to see you as well. Thanks so much for jumping on. We got Drew from Drew's Food Reviews. You already know what it is. Tiffany Shields saying that the Taco Bell loaded taco nacho fries burrito is bomb. Absolutely, it looks pretty awesome. Let's see here. Roland Mendoza, one of my new patrons. Thanks so much for jumping on. Thank you for your support, of course. Thank you for that. Let's see who else we've got here. Thomas McDonald, great to see you on here as well. We got a lot of amazing peeps, all my day ones that are in here as well too. Annette Cervantes from Hawaii. If you're still catching this right now, aloha. That's awesome. I definitely want to go there one of these days. Once everything is okay for me to do that naturally. I want to go. Derek Leveske, great to see you on here as well. And it's beginning to rise as we go. Great to see everybody. Let's see. It is still blistering hot down here in Southern Cali. I'll tell you exactly what happened last Friday. It was actually a few days prior to that. I didn't want to take a chance on something for Friday. Philly Feet, what's up? What it do? Can't stay long. I'm still at work and chime in about 15-20 minutes. Cool. Thanks so much for jumping on and at least checking in, Philly. I appreciate you. Thank you. Kyle Broussard, thumbs up. We got everybody in effect here right now. And I think we're mostly caught up here. Narav Shah enjoys the content. Thank you. I appreciate that. I appreciate that greatly. Wow, Annette is in Hawaii for a wedding. That must be beautiful and very scenic, of course. That's awesome. That's awesome. Thomas McDonald, I would love to see the new Dune movie. So do I. I can't wait to check that out. I love the original, but I never read the books, believe it or not. I probably should do that just to kind of see what they're going to do, I guess, a little bit closer to the books. Usually when they do these reboots or remakes, they usually kind of like, follow the book a little bit more closely or add things from the book into it that wasn't in the film initially. I like the original Dune, David Lynch film. It was definitely pretty awesome. Dom's World, breakfast tacos look good. Yes, that was a blast to put together. I was in pre-production on that for a few days leading up to filming that. I knew about that coming a few days in advance, and it was definitely something I wanted to kind of push to do, and it was really, really fun to produce that one. 3 different breakfast tacos, double cheese, and I love how that video came out. It launched earlier today, and it's really, really, I think one of the signature Del Taco reviews that I've done in a while, actually, so I really liked it. Apparently, Del Taco likes it as well, so I'm glad that they're digging it too. Michael Domayer, hey, thanks so much for jumping on. Sean O'Connell, is McDonald's coming out with the McPizza? I've heard rumors, but didn't know if it was true. That's, I think, unique to one particular location. I want to say in Florida. Some of you guys may be able to confirm that here in the chat. That would be awesome if you could. But for as far as I know it exists, but, naturally it's not something that's available around the country, especially here in Southern Cali, it's not. Doris Johns, don't miss drinking water. I've been drinking too much water lately, honestly. It's a little bit of a problem. Let's see. Moat Brain, it's time to peep this out. You already know what it is. Guys, thanks so much for jumping on. I appreciate you guys being here right now. As you probably saw in the very beginning in the lobby, for those of you who were there, of course, I've always got that that ongoing 20% discount off of the merch shop as well, which you guys can find down below. In the description box, you'll find the links directly to it, as well as the first pinned comment on the replay. So that's 20%. For those of you guys who are here on those streams, that's where I usually advertise that primarily, because you guys are the ones who are really doing the do and you're here and supporting, and I really greatly appreciate that. So I wanted to kind of extend something a little bit extra for you guys. You guys may have noticed that the last few weeks it's been up there. 100 days till Halloween. Yes, Dom, I'm excited for Halloween Kills on top of it too. But this is the time. Everything is beginning to trickle out right now in terms of the Halloween season. So I'm beginning to come alive with what I'm going to do. And I think what I might do beginning August 1st, well, the stream after next naturally there, is I'll probably switch over the lights behind me here to either be all blue, or maybe I'll try and find, or the purplish look actually. I may try and find like an orange and blacks type of situation, something for the holiday season. We're gonna make this one last, so we'll definitely see what we can do with that. Yes, Doris, it helps you, keeps you from passing out. Absolutely. Absolutely. You already know what it is. Tony A, yeah, McPizza is the largest McDonald's in Florida. Yes. That'd be cool to see that, naturally. I'd be kind of curious to see, since McDonald's kind of dips their fingers and their toes into the different genres of food out there in terms of trying to, like, you know, go on the trends and that type of thing. It'd be great to see. Doris, tried the KFC Nashville not chicken before. So good. I think you meant hot chicken right there. Roland Mendoza, Halloween Kills, oh boy, Silver Shamrock cameo. Yeah, they've been doing that in the last few reboots, actually, having those 3 masks in there. So I hope they don't overdo it naturally, but it's in the trailer. So, you know, those little throwbacks to the original Halloween 3, which is still actually a pretty good movie on its own, actually. A little bit ahead of its time. Let's see, Doris, I heard McDonald's sold wings before in some locations. Actually, the Mighty Wings, I've reviewed a couple of times, believe it or not. I believe, I want to say a live stream variant of that, but the main review I've done on the Mighty Wings as well. But really, really good stuff with that. Carla Broussard, the Del Taco breakfast tacos look delicious. Yes, I had a lot of fun putting that together. It was really pretty tasty stuff. And for fast food breakfast, guys, I mean, that's really the thing with that. It was really pretty tasty. Larry Nguyen, will I do a Starbucks review for Halloween? If it's actually something that looks like it would be kind of cool, if they do something for Halloween. I'm sure they will, but we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. We'll have to see. Shelly G, how you doing? Thanks so much for jumping on. Constance Cherry as well. ScoutRush.com. What is your favorite stadium food to eat at a game, being going to baseball games? You know, aside from a Dodger dog, which is always kind of fun anyway over Dodger Stadium there, I like garlic fries, believe it or not. We have a lot of different things. I haven't been to a game in a long time or a concert in a long time. And I believe the last time I was at actually Dodger Stadium was when a buddy of mine was getting married and we all kind of met up there to watch a game. And that's when I had some stuff there. But I want to say kind of like garlic fries. I mean, I'm pretty basic when it comes to stadium food stuff, so nothing really extravagant. It's always the classic stuff. You got to do like a hot dog. They always say like a hot dog and a flat beer on a hot day. I'm not into drinking, you know, warm beer on a hot day or cold beer on a hot day for that matter. So, but the hot dogs are always good at Dodger Stadium. They're pretty solid. Doris, tried Penn State's Philly cheese subs before. Haven't tried. Let's see here. We have Philly's Best, which is kind of like the McDonald's version of that type of thing over here. Bus, shooting off with a super chat donation. I appreciate that greatly. You're going to see your name in lights coming up over here, as well as down below underneath Jacqueline Marquez, my latest subscriber to the channel. And there goes Bus in effect right now. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Here you go for the double with no tomato. You already know me because I have a feeling I'm going to be doing that after the stream tonight. So I'm really kind of feeling that. I'm literally knee deep in 4 projects right now, and I'm burnt. I'm not burnt out. I'm burnt as in no sleep. So I am pretty tired right now. There's a lot going on behind the scenes here. So I appreciate that, Bus. Super chat donation. Should you guys wish to donate to the channel the way Bus has already, you definitely have the option at the bottom of your chat window. You'll see that little $ flashing, probably telling you right there. But the easiest way, too, is the PayPal link directly in the description box or the first pinned comment. That way, YouTube doesn't take anything out of you for doing that. And again, let me just thank you in advance. And of course, I appreciate it greatly. You guys are official sponsors of the channel. You'll find yourselves in the description box below as always. Every week, I love loading you guys in there, and I greatly appreciate it. You guys make the world go round and makes the channel a little bit easier to do, being that I'm a one-man show for everything that you're seeing right now, designed, created, and implemented. So thank you. You already know I can't do this without you. I appreciate you. And I love to create too. So I appreciate the audience being here for it. Dante, it's from Japanese food chain called The First Kitchen. Let's see, that's what they made. Kit Kat sandwich, Kit Kat bar with whipped cream and orange peel on a soft bun. That sounds pretty crazy though, Dante. It really does. Pretty crazy indeed on that. Narav, if I ever come to Austin, you got to try Cabo Bob's burritos. You know, I can't wait to start traveling again once things are a little bit easier to do. I really want to try some of these things that you guys always showcase. You know, being that we have literally a worldwide audience here on the channel. I mean, some of you guys are even overseas. If you guys want to put that into the chat over here, let me know where you're repping this stream from. But there are so many things that you guys obviously know locally that I would love to check out. And some of these things sound amazing. So of course, I would love to do that. And it also adds a little bit of a layer of polish additionally on top of my content, which is kind of fun. So I would love to add that stuff. Let's see here. Cabo Bob's is epic. Very cool. KFC Chizza. I've heard of that, Doris. I've heard of that. Some variation of that in there as well, too, there. So without a doubt, Good stuff. Let's see here. Going down the line, guys, I appreciate all the love and support. It's been a very long week. Just so you guys know, for some of you guys who were sending me direct messages that I replied directly to, we've been having a little bit of a power situation here. Last week, we had a lot going on locally in the community. A lot of things with electrical. It was really a little unnerving. I think everyone's running their ACs like crazy. That's primarily the reason for that. But honestly, that was one of the reasons I didn't want to just take the chance on Friday, because things were up and down at the same time there as well. So apologies far after the fact, but naturally for those of you who reached out directly on social media, and I've answered all of you guys at this point here, I appreciate you guys looking forward to these streams. I have a lot of fun doing them, a lot of fun producing them for you. But that's the main reason for that as well. So timing wise, obviously that didn't do anything to my schedule because I'm still into create mode. So I was still simply doing my stuff, even though we weren't streaming that time. Let's see. PB, what's going on? Thanks so much for jumping on here. Tony Schultz, favorite local item, deep fried tacos with powdered cheese. That sounds interesting. Is that like the Kraft cheese, macaroni and cheese powder? Kind of like that? Kind of like a dusted cheese, or like Cotima cheese, something like that too. Maybe the Mexican cheese. Maureen Descatado, how are you doing today? I'm doing all right. Aside from literally being just crispy, it is very, very hot. Still, I've got my portable fans going, my silent fans, so you guys can't really hear anything, hopefully. But it is definitely a crazy situation. And yes, Shelly, NorCal 24 AC 24/7. I know we've been running it ridiculously here all day. I'm done. I can't not wait for certain times if I can help it. So I can't even imagine what my electric bill is going to be like for next month here. But you got to do what you got to do. So it is what it is. Doris, do you like to cook? Homemade lasagna is better for you. Yes, I do like to cook, although I don't do it as much as my wife tells me I should. I got to be honest with you. I'm always doing something. It's very hard for me to schedule something to kind of produce and do. If we're going to be doing a dinner or something ahead of time, that would be one thing to do. Maybe we should work on that. But I do like to cook. I just don't do it nearly as much as I should. It's almost like I'm still in bachelor mode, even though I'm married, and we're trying to do the back and forth with making that happen. So let's see here, going down the line. Yes, it's been cold and rainy. July, wow, for Derek Levesque, 60 to 70s, record 90s, 90s. Wow, the world is drunk. Yeah, the world is definitely pretty crazy right now. That is definitely true. Dom Kent, he can't wait until the summer ends. You know, every day it's so uneventful here in Southern Cali because honestly, with the exception of the heat being a little bit what it is, it's always summer here. So honestly, when it rains, it's an event. You know, it kind of is what it is. Sammy, what it do? Appreciate you jumping on. Great to see you on here right now. Great to have you as always. David P as well. Thanks so much for jumping on. Appreciate you. And Sammy, been trying to catch up on the streams. Always 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on Fridays, and the replays are typically either the very next day or on Sunday if there's something planned. And of course, I have a new review planned for Saturday for tomorrow for you guys. We'll see if you guys can guess what it is in there as well. But there's always something going there, and I still have 4 other ones chopping up on my laptop right now that I'm going to start trickling out into this coming week as well. So there's a lot of content coming, believe me. I think this last week there was like three reviews. This stream, next week there may be, I think, 4 reviews. There's a lot. I mean, with the 4 that I have out, if I put them out plus the stream, God, that'll be 5. So you guys have no shortage of content coming from me. And speaking of which, before we get into the review in just a little bit here, let me bring up where we've been and see what we've got on here right now. All right, so for those of you guys who are probably just getting caught up if you haven't seen these already, obviously we have got Thigh Stops boneless wings. I decided to go on back and give that a shot there, which was really pretty tasty to do. Spoiler alert, I enjoyed those as well. Of course, we've got Little Caesars Planteroni Pizza, which is only in certain select markets here on the East Coast and West Coast. That was fun to put out with the quote-unquote fake pepperoni. Very interesting on that at the same time. Buffalo Wild Wings classic chicken sandwich, $5.99 for that combo with fries. Definitely an awesome value, and a pretty solid piece of chicken at the same time as well. And let's see here, Denny's Cali chicken burrito. That was something that I've had for a little bit that I just wanted to get off my laptop, and honestly I'm so glad that that one is done and history. Little lackluster on that one if I remember correctly. I don't remember what I scored it. I know it wasn't the greatest score. But that was one that was done a few weeks back at the same time. Sammy, the August lineup at Wendy's is going to be amazing. I have no doubt. They have a lot of great stuff coming up here, of course. Let's see here. Derek Levesque is talking to David P. See Victensia's new Camaro. Very cool. New sandwiches at Wendy's. All the good stuff there as well. I'm sure they have something like any day now. We already know. Larry Nguyen, have I done Pink's Hot Dog? Actually, I went to Pink's actually with Ken Domick from KBD Productions TV way back in the day. I want to say maybe it's been about 5 years now since we've been over there. So yes, good stuff on that. That was definitely fun to do. No Erna tonight. We're missing our 80s song. She could show up a little bit later on too. You never know. We'll have to see what happens though. We'll have to see what happens. So that's the good thing about these things is that a lot of people like to be fashionably late or they catch the replay, and I'm cool with that too. It's all right. Let's see. Scott remembers that video. Yes, it was fun to produce that one. Crazy hot that day as well too there. I remember when we did that one. Definitely an uncomfortably warm day for sure. James Morrison, the most carefree part of my week. Looking forward to tonight's review. Have an awesome weekend, brother. You as well, James. Thanks so much. I appreciate you jumping on, and we're definitely getting to the review in just a little bit. And speaking of reviews, next up, guys, the Sonic Shark Week slush. I actually got Sonic reached out to me directly, actually, to ask me a couple of things, and I really am very thankful that they enjoyed that review as well. I appreciate that greatly. That was a lot of fun to put together. There's a lot of shark effects in that one, obviously. I figured I had to do something interesting with it. It's just me on camera having a drink. So I got to try and do something with it if I can. And the theme of sharks, naturally, was pretty much a given. So I had a lot of fun green screening that, which was a lot of fun to put together. And then we get into Taco Bell. Obviously, it's Taco Bell week or two. Who knows? There's all kinds of things that are out over there. The flatbread tacos. That was actually pushed ahead of time. I decided to put out the Popeyes nuggets. I actually had the Popeyes nuggets ready to go for that day. But being that there was a little bit of an early release drop on the flatbread tacos at Taco Bell because you could have gotten them in the app early, I figured while that was actually being advertised, let me just put out my review for that now. And or ahead of the time, ahead of the nuggets, and then that was that. If you guys enjoyed the flatbread tacos review, let me see a taco here in the chat. Let me see what you guys. Let me see how many people enjoyed that. I had a lot of fun putting that together, and it was definitely pretty tasty for essentially like a mini gordita or a chalupa, I should say, is essentially what it is. Just a thinner piece of the bread that they normally use, but it was pretty tasty. And then of course the Popeyes chicken nuggets finally trickling out as well. So. A little lackluster on that for what it is, naturally, but your mileage may vary depending upon what you may be expecting from Popeyes nugget wise. They could have definitely separated themselves by calling it, I think that somebody had written that it's like a hybrid thing. I think Roland, I think you actually said that. I think they missed the boat on that by calling it something different, but hey, chicken nuggets they sell. All right, so you guys are definitely going into all the tacos here. Critical East Japan, thanks so much for jumping on, Paul. Great to see you. Tiffany Shields, is Pink's where they filmed that part of Tom Petty's Free Falling? It very well could be, because it's a major landmark on the west side, close to Melrose, actually. Good times there, again. Good times. KJ38, as much as I hate the cold, I like to have 4 seasons living in Illinois. Fall, the beautiful tree colors, nothing better than a long winter. Of course, looking forward to spring and the green grass. Absolutely. That all sounds amazing. Larry, are we going to be doing a chips review today? No. No crinkling bags, as my mom says. Please, no crinkling bags. So yes, definitely not. Let's see here. Michael Demayer is in there with the tacos. We got Tony Schelt PB, ScottRush.com. Glad you guys enjoyed that. It was a lot of fun to put together. And then naturally, I love doing those double or triple reviews at one time because they test me in terms of adding graphics, in terms of how the format's going to go. And I love putting all into my content. It's just always so much fun. So those actually, they take a little bit longer time to produce naturally. But I think the end result for you guys to enjoy it as much as possible, that's what brings me the most satisfaction in there. And I think any content creator who's putting in that time and making these projects knows that to no end, obviously there. Present company included to all the amazing content creators who may be watching this right now. And a few that are in the chat here, of course, with Critical East Japan, just another awesome content creator as well. Drew's Food Reviews pumping them out. Then we've got a lot of amazing peeps here in the community for sure. Good times indeed. Derek Levesque, did you see the fireworks truck in California blow up? Yes, I saw the video of that. Pretty crazy. pretty crazy. All right, so after the Popeyes nuggets, we have today's video, which actually is the double cheese breakfast tacos that are in there as well. And then naturally, you'll have some stuff coming tomorrow. And then obviously this replay will be Sunday. And then I'm thinking about either Monday or Tuesday or skipping Monday and then kind of giving myself a breather. So we'll see how this goes. in terms of that there. But you guys, like I said, have no shortage of content with the 4 at least that I have on my laptop now, and some other stuff that I already have on the schedule. It's beginning to be a little crazy for me, to be honest. I mean, it's always crazy when I'm trying to do what I do. So naturally, I'm really thinking about maybe it may be time to get a little bit of help to help me manage some of this stuff at the same time. But I'm enjoying it. I love people reaching out, letting me know that what I'm doing is making a difference for them in some way, even though it's just me, little old me, an average guy giving my opinion on what I'm having in the car at that present time. It's always fun. Definitely always fun to do. All right. Back into the chat here. We'll try and catch up and into some questions. Let's see here. My chat is all over. Hang on one second here. All right. Roland, injured your left arm and right foot. Oh, man. From a planter. Hope you're okay. I hope you're okay. Constance Sherry, good. You deserve a break. It's never really a break. I mean, I definitely use my off days, and I definitely make some time to kind of do something nice at the same time. But you know, I don't really consider what I do work in that way, because it's so much fun to produce and put out. So it really just, I guess it's just the mindset of how that goes. That's probably the main thing. So, but yes, I mean, a break from editing and looking at a screen for a while, of course. I'm not one to try and put out something every single day. It's never been my MO, even though it kind of feels like some weeks I literally have like 6 pieces of content and I see the work being put into that at the same time. But that's just the end result of me just plugging away, and the next thing I know, this is what I've got going on. So I would like to at some point maybe have somebody produce the content, like I film it and somebody chops it up and puts it together. That may be kind of cool at some point down the road, maybe, you know, if anything there. But given the stuff and time to market for a lot of the newer things, it would have to be kind of the turnaround time is like 24 hours, you know, if that something is filmed sometimes, unless the ones that take time to make and produce naturally. Let's see. Tony A, looking forward to Popeye's nuggets coming. Not sure what the best sauce would be with them. You know, anything. For me, I did the Mardi Gras mustard and the blackened ranch, but essentially it's chopped up tenders. I mean, it's pretty much like what you'd expect it to be. And when I saw it, it's exactly what I thought it was going to be. Very uneventful that way, but obviously it's Popeyes. I mean, how bad could it really be? Glad you're a 98% okay, Roland, but still, that 2%'s got to be a little bit of a nag. A couple of more weeks and you'll be at 100%. It's okay. Larry Nguyen, will you do a TikTok on YouTube? You know what? I don't know if I want to invest in another platform. I get the whole TikTok thing, but honestly, for me, I have more than enough on my plate to manage. And I think the way that I'm kind of putting my stuff out there with Instagram, especially, and Twitter, and Facebook, obviously, I tag all that stuff. I think that works well for me. I'm not into trying to build another platform. I'm trying to excel at one particular one, which is always the YouTube end of it, and then all the residual platforms around you. The goal is not to do too much too soon, or don't bite off something you can't handle all at one time. So given everything that I put into my content, everything that I produce on stream, everything that I'm just doing outside of this, it's kind of hard for me to kind of think about, you know, jumping on yet another platform, even though you can probably link them all together to make that work. So we'll have to see. Narav, you tried the Wendy's Ghost Pepper Ranch? Absolutely. Good times. Definitely good times checking that out. I actually tried that about, I want to say, about 4 or 5 days before that was officially out. I have actually, I want to say just a new group of contacts actually within the same restaurants that I've been actually using or going to. So from all the fast food stuff that I network around and people that I know, there are newer people that I'm actually involved with as well too. Some new people from Pizza Hut, which is kind of cool. So I'm very happy with that. But yes, Narav, I actually did the ghost pepper. And actually, you know what? I have to take a look at Trav. Trav Tries just put out his video on what he thought of the Ghost Pepper Ranch. So I got to take a look and see what people are kind of talking about. He's one of the first ones that I saw that's been pumping these out as well. ScottRush.com, you could dance on YouTube too. Very nice. What about Blackened Ranch from Doris Johns? It's one of my all-time favorites over at Popeyes because I absolutely love ranch dressing when it comes to fried chicken goodness. It's what I usually get. I got to be honest, it's what I usually get. Let's see. James Morrison, do you have a good mentor when you were starting your channel? You know what? A lot of examples, to be honest there. Mentor-wise, I was watching KBD Productions TV with Ken, watching the way that his delivery was on camera, the way that he produces his content as well. Dame Drops, obviously, as well back in the day. Another awesome content creator. He's been doing it for so long with his recent Netflix special as well. So definitely, you know, kudos over to Dame, but it really just kind of seeing what people are kind of doing. And then what you do is you just formulate and you see what the best things are that you can take from that and produce and make it your own, like your own personality, your own style. Everybody always gets accused of being somebody else in the very beginning, or you're trying to be this, you're trying to be that. It only means you're getting a response out of people, which is actually what you want on YouTube. Sometimes good publicity and bad publicity, however you look at it, it works for you positively on either way. So it doesn't really matter. So, but the goal is to really kind of, showcase what it is that you can do with your content, grow, fail, fall on your face, get up, do it differently, move forward. That's the goal. Is like I'm always competing with the person that I see in the mirror every morning. That's how I look at it. So I always want to do better than I did last week, last month, last year, and just go from there. So before we get into this review, I'm going to give you one look at another selection off of Masters of the Universe Origins line. If you guys remember this character, because the show just started at midnight last night, actually. This is the classic version of Orko. So another one for the connection here. Heroic Court Magician with a retro play. So I'm not sure if you guys are actually into this type of thing, but I'm always giving you just a little shade of what I like to do. And I remember collecting these when I was a kid. Now that I'm able to do it as an adult, it's fun, naturally. This one actually comes with a little comic book on the inside. And we'll give you this here on the very back. Take a look. Orko may have unpredictable magic powers, but his loyalty and pure heart are never in doubt. Just awesome artwork with all this stuff on here right now. And obviously, we've got some other classics there. I have yet to get Manny Faces and Trapjaw and Scareglow, but that's definitely on my hit list. I'm always checking Amazon consistently. And if I see these things, I don't go for scalp pricing. These are literally, the lowest price is $14.99 for these, if you can get them like that. This one actually was when it finally refreshed on Amazon, and I instantly snatched it. So I'm really glad to have done that. But just wanted to give you a fast look at good old Orko. He's a little bit of a limited find. I got to be honest, I've never seen him in stores, but he's available on there. But very cool. So for those of you guys who are into Masters of the Universe, naturally, this is definitely just a nice addition to have. If you guys have watched the new Revelation show, I've only seen the first episode last night at midnight because I was just completely done after editing and my day in general. But it's really a pretty cool show. I got to admit, very, very cool. I love just the concept of how it looks. It has like a combination of Japanese anime and computer generated graphics for some of the things, but it looks very, very slick. And the writing so far is not bad. So definitely take a look at that Revelation show if you haven't just yet. It just started. The first 5 episodes for season 1, part 2, or season 1, part 1, I should say. So the first 5 episodes. I don't know when the next series comes out after that. But pretty cool. Jackie Hero Food Reviews, thanks so much for jumping on. Hello, hello, hello. Aaron Shahir, thanks so much for jumping on. I'm doing okay. We're going to get into the review here in about 2 minutes. Because if you can believe it, we're already at the half-hour mark. I've been talking for a half hour already. Constance remembers Orko. Yeah, he was definitely the bumbling type of little magician, the sidekick, to the whole good guys of Eternia. But I got to admit, his new design and the way his personality is, he's still kind of funny what they're trying to do with him on the show, but he's a little bit more rough and tough, to be honest with you. I kind of like what they're doing. They're making him a little bit still whimsical, but a little bit more serious at the same time. The tone of the show is a little bit more serious and more adult-like, which I like. And Mark Hamill as Skeletor, I got to tell you, already I'm in love with it. It is really cool. The design of that character looks amazing. It's just the toys I'm not really a fan of. I'm not a fan of the action figures of the Revelations line so far. But the show, digging it. I had a feeling I would. There's some really, really cool cameos. Some characters doing one battle sequence, which was pretty cool, namely Fisto, which was really awesome, and Clampchamp, which I showed you guys here on the channel. Pretty cool. So let's see here. As we get caught up, chat is moving along. Constance, really have to check it out. Yes. First started midnight last night, and I was literally, even though I was so exhausted, I had my Bluetooth headphones on, I was in bed, I was just watching it, and it was awesome. It was awesome. Larry Nguyen, what food review are you doing tonight? All will be revealed in less than a minute, guys. We are almost up on that time. Actually, if you guys are ready for this review right now, let me see a thumbs up here in the chat. Masters of the Askew Universe from Subtegral. Yes, because it is what it is with Kevin Smith. But, the writing, I got to admit, pretty solid. That first episode, he wrote that one, and it really wasn't bad. Optimist, do you play video games? Yes, but I haven't in a little bit. But I have the systems. I just don't have the newer versions of Xbox or PS right now. It wouldn't be a good investment, considering what I've got going on in there as well. All right. Aaron, I should do a review on a pie. I've done a few in the past. BK pies, stuff like that. You may find those in there as well. Roland, what do you think about the Fear Street movies? I watched the first one. I still haven't watched the Nightwing. I guess the next one, 1978, I think it is. It's part 2. But I like the first one. The first movie was pretty awesome. It kind of sets the tone for what we're going to see going forward for those other 2. So I'm hearing from a very close personal friend of mine that 1666 is actually the best out of the 3. And that's the one way back in the day. So I'm very curious to see with that as well. Let's see here. Fila Zen, you just said your name wrong. What? What did I say? How do you get your name wrong? Have you seen, speaking of Kevin Smith, have you seen his movie Dogma? Yes, I actually have it on DVD before Blu-ray, believe it or not. With Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, and George Carlin stuff, absolutely. You already know. Doris Johns, do I like the Marvel and DC movies? I like them both, honestly. But I like a little bit more of the seriousness of the DC movies. I can't wait for Suicide Squad. I'm excited. Definitely excited for that one. All right, you guys are ready for the review. I think we're going to get into it right now. And this should come as a surprise to nobody, because obviously this is something that I think you're going to recognize. Salted caramel brownie flavored Oreos. Got to do something like this because this one actually looks pretty awesome. And I really like the fact that it actually has salt. You're seeing right over here, topped with salt on these right now. So a very lovely situation just in and of itself. This was actually on sale. This was $3.50, a little bit more expensive, but I got to admit, it feels heavier than usual. Cool marketing, as you can see. Tony DP, what's going on? Great to see you on here. But take a look. I'm very curious to see how this is going to simulate that brownie action here. Let's see how many are actually in this here. 2 cookies, 12 servings, so there's 24 cookies. So it's actually less, but for some reason, this feels very heavy to me right now. But as you can see, cool packaging, and it looks like it's trying to simulate what we're going to see there. My guess is going to be some caramel and chocolate in that cream, and then you have a little salt actually on the actual cookie itself. So let's get into these limited edition salted caramel brownie Oreos. And I'm going to open this up. You guys can take a look. Not smelling anything just yet, but they're presenting very nicely with lots of caramel flavor there. Try and see if I can kind of focus that in there. I guess it's as good as we can get it. Let's take a look at that. Very cool. Jackie, the Trips and I just did a collab on A&W Nashville Hot Chicken Sandwich. Nice. Definitely going to want to check that out for sure. I think they're on vacay right now. I've been seeing on social media, on Instagram, that they're taking vacation, which is cool. Dom says these are decent. They actually look really, really cool. In terms of the actual aroma of them, though, smells like the chocolate Oreo standard with maybe a little bit of caramel, actually. A little bit of caramel in that aroma here. So let me lift this up. We'll take a look and see. And before I do that, because I was so excited to get into this, let me just cover my laptop here really quick. Make sure nothing gets in here. Yeah, this is salted. That's kind of cool, actually, guys. Take a look. You can kind of see little salt granules on there. We got that focus, trying to focus in. There you go. Pretty cool. Let's open up this cream action. Take a look at that cream. Looks like it is a combination of chocolate and caramel. Those Oreos look like heaven, according to Jackie Hero. Let's see exactly how the cream is, if it's even one step closer to heaven for me to have it right now. Let's go. Dark chocolate. A little bit of the light flavor that I'm getting from the actual Oreo cream, because it always has that distinct flavor, that taste. Then the dark chocolate, then the caramel. That's actually pretty nice. Now let's see what the salt is going to do overall to this. Now just to show you this here one more time, because we have got lots of salty goodness. There you go. Take a look at those granules right there. Pretty nice. Let's give this a shot. Salted caramel brownie. Let's do it. Wow. The salt is cool on that. That is really tasty. Standard Oreo, but man, I am really digging the caramel action with this. Like, it's drizzled and it's a dark fudge type of flavor. And then the sugary sweetness that I'm getting from the flavor in general from the cream from an Oreo. It's amazing how they simulate a lot of that. Not bad. Optimist, this just reminded me that I have some salted caramel candy. Go for it. Wow. Guys, I'm impressed. I mean, it's a standard Oreo still, but I think I'm kind of in love with the fact that the salt granules on this are kind of elevating it. It's making me a little bit more thirstier at the same time, but I like that because the salted caramel flavor kind of feels like it's emulated pretty nicely just in this. Pretty good. Absolutely. And I'm holding off on dipping into the milk here for a second. Larry Nguyen, did you get that on sale for Vaughn? $3.99. $3.49 actually. They had a 2 for $7 or something like that, so I just picked up one. Wow. That is pretty good, man. That is pretty good. All right, so let's do the do, because you already know what it is. We got to go for a little badunkadunk action. Hopefully that's staying in focus. There we go. Pretty good. As you can see, it is coated nicely. Let's go for it again. A little bit more. Got to be careful. It's beginning to open up. Let's try it. It's a wet Oreo with salt. That's crazy good though. Man, I'm impressed with this. It's got that heartiness of a brownie with the salted flavor as well. And then you're getting the Oreo cookie action on the back end. That's really what this is. Yeah. I am impressed with this. Oreo knocking it out with this one. Wow. That's impressive. Take a look. As you can see, as they fall forward, lots of caramel goodness, guys, on the fudge too. This is nicely put together. Yes, Roland, it's definitely a hit. Beautiful. Dip this out. You already know. These are definitely going to get finished off here. Nice. Honestly, I thought the Nutter Butters that I did, those little mini ones the last time, which I still have a few of those left, by the way. Those are pretty good. I think you can have 10 of those in a serving, which is good. Which, incidentally, on this, 140 calories for 2. It's a typical Oreo goodness here with this one. But a very lovely situation on the flavor. I'm impressed with this, guys. This simulates very nicely. It's a very, very good flavor. That salt that it's topped with there, that's what seals the deal for me. By far. Never had an Oreo with something like that. Now, naturally, they've had the Firecracker Oreo stuff. They've had all kinds of things that they add extra. But this actually works very, very nicely. So, you know, honestly, on a scale of 1 to 10, guys, this is a 10 for me. I mean, it's really simulating everything they're advertising with this. You're tasting. If you take a closer look at that, which is kind of cool. You've got the drizzled caramel action. You've got that fudge-like cream. That's what really does it too. And then you have the salt on there. It is done extremely well. And the packaging just looks really, really good. This is easily worth $3.99 if you're going to get it for that, or $3.50 if you can get it even less. But honestly, all over the place. After I picked this up a few days ago, I saw it at Target, locally. I mean, this is pretty much, they're blowing these things out. So obviously they're really pushing it. And it's good. I mean, it's really, really tasty. Definitely one of my favorite Oreos of the year in there as well. So we've got a lot to look forward to naturally as we roll into the holidays. But guys, that's the way I kind of I look at my scoring system of being a 10, because a lot of people are like, well, then this is the ultimate Oreo cookie. No, I'm basing this on, is it delivering what it's advertising? Aside from the appearance of it, does it taste like what it's supposed to be? It is salted, it is caramel, it's got that dark, rich fudge-like cream, which gives it the brownie aspect. I mean, you really can't go wrong with something like that. You really can't. So, lovely situation by far. Let's see, have you seen when you said it's badunkadunk action, actually, I suddenly remember the Dunkachino song from Adam Sandler from Jack and Hill. That's hilarious. Guy singing it actually says that at one point. That's funny. Drew, haven't tried yours yet. You definitely are going to want to. I'm telling you right now. And I got to say, dipping it into milk too, that really, I mean, it pretty much activates every single Oreo. Oreo, Nabisco, the company who produces this, they know what they're doing when they're making these flavors. Everybody knows milk and cookies. Oreos and milk are classic. When you have a flavor that you can simulate something that they're advertising and it's activated even further when you dip it in milk, guys, that's a win-win right there. That saltiness, it's like a wet Oreo. It sounds kind of gross when I say it like that, but the wet Oreo action with the salt easily is it's just delicious. I mean, salt equals flavor, right? I mean, that's why they do that, but really good. Vivian George, what it do? Let's see. Beautiful Hogman. Wish there was a store just for Oreos. You know what? They really should actually have something like that. An Oreo, like a facility or an outlet or someplace you can go. That would be pretty awesome. Oreo World coming soon from Subtegral. That's awesome. Doris, haven't tried the mini Oreos. I've tried the thin versions. I've done those in the past, but not the mint variant. I'm not really a super fan of mint, you know, like that, but maybe something to look into in the future. But this, I got to tell you, I was looking forward to this one. I know the wifey was like, can we open these now? And I'm always like, you know, got to wait for that review to, you know, take place online before I can open this up. So this was hidden for a while, just for the last few days. Derek Levesque, a little hot fudge on them and put them in the freezer. Oh, absolutely. It's almost like the fudge covered Oreos, which if you guys remember, I love those things. That was a blast to do. I would love to see some version like that with this flavor. Maybe this year that'd be something cool to see as well. But very, very tasty, to say the least there, by far, guys. Really, really good stuff. Let's see. Ben Nguyen, sorry I'm late today. No worries, no worries. The replay is actually going to be up this coming Sunday. That is the 25th. So if you guys are watching this, obviously right now, you know when it's going to be coming out. But if you're watching this on Sunday after 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I hope you're enjoying everything that you've seen up to this point. Drop some comments down below and let me know what you thought of the review of these salted caramel brownie flavored Oreos. I'm really impressed with that. That is really good. And honestly, again, I'm really just, the fact that it has the salt on it. If it didn't have the salt, it would just be kind of just a really tasty Oreo. But that salt, that is the wild card ingredient that they're adding to this to really take it to like the next level flavor-wise. Because like I said, salt equals flavor. With the exception of some of the stuff I reviewed on my channel, especially from Taco Bell, that steakhouse burrito, I think it was back in the day. I think they dumped the whole seasoning thing in that by accident because it was too salty. You can have too much salt in something naturally, but that actually works perfectly. It's just the right amount. Really, really good stuff. Cristobal, Taco Bell next video? Possibly. Possibly. Dom's World, fudge covered Oreos are the best. Yeah, they were pretty banging. They were pretty banging. Did somebody say fudge? Beautiful Hogman wants to know. Did somebody say fudge? Absolutely. Fudge is life. Fudge is life. Something my niece would say. Fudge is life. Let's see. Going down the line. Subtegral loaded. Taco fries burrito. No red strips. Let's see here. Doris, haven't tried the actual brownies with salt before. You know, it really is pretty tasty. I mean, I'm used to like salted caramel type of drinks because they have a little bit of something in there. I mean, I can take it or leave it. It's not my ultimate go-to. I know my wife likes salted caramel items like that. For me, I'm okay with it. But that works very well because it's the classic Oreo that you already know, naturally with the flavor that they're advertising to be for what it is. And I'm just impressed at the execution of that. That is just really, really tasty. So good investment if they've done that, for sure. Let's see. Have you heard of a place called Cha Cafe? Yes, in El Monte, Lower Azusa Road. Yes, actually, my brother-in-law, the owner of that is his friend. And I've been there a few times, actually, back in the day. Cha Cafe. Very tasty, like in that little corner area of that little strip little area that they're in right there. Yes, I'm well aware of that place. A good place. I think they were doing the ramen burger back in the day. When I was introduced to that spot there through my brother-in-law, but it was really, really pretty good. Let's see, Ben Nguyen. Let's see, I just make a real volcano taco by Older the Flaming Dorito Taco and nachos that would mix with fire sauce. That's a beautiful situation. Although I do wish they would bring back the real volcano menu to Taco Bell, which would be really, really good. Because obviously the Flaming Hot Doritos Locos Taco is back, obviously with the NBA and all that stuff that you could have gotten free yesterday on the 22nd. That was fun to review when that came out initially. But, you know, good stuff. And considering, you know what, with nacho fries taking over the spot of the most successful launch that Taco Bell has ever had, that's why they keep bringing them back. Before that, believe it or not, I think it was the Doritos Locos Taco was like the big thing. That seemed like just like, you know, a no-brainer for sure. Let's see here. Michael, they have an apple cider donut. Or yes, I've seen a few of these things online. Very, very cool. Very, very cool. I know. I'm excited for all the holiday stuff coming in right now. You have no idea. This is like literally when I come alive. I'm more animated than ever because I love Halloween season, and it always begins right after 4th of July. You start beginning to see things on Instagram. Things start trickling into stores. You're seeing things that are going to be coming out. It's the season for it there. So it's the whole lead in. Everybody loves Halloween. Everybody loves all the dress up and all the scary stuff. And considering everything we've all been going through just as a world, as a planet, as a global community, even though that stuff is still there in the background, it feels a little bit different this year compared to last, naturally. So it's going to be nice to kind of get out there just a little bit, still being safe about it, but at the same time, just enjoying the overall experience of the Halloween season again. Just to kind of forget what was last year to some degree. So I'm excited for that. Hey, they're bringing back Halloween Horror Nights at Universal, okay? That's a sign that's actually a pretty lovely situation. I'm probably not going to go this year still, but it's great to see that they're coming back with the good stuff there for sure. Let's see, Beautiful Hogman, Dracula is going to be big this year, mark my words. We'll see. I mean, they're doing The Bride of Frankenstein at Halloween Horror Nights, and also they're bringing back The Exorcist and a few other things, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, all the usual mainstays. We'll have to see what they do next, but those are always classics, which is always good. Dr. Wiggles, what is this? What is your method if you have a bag of fast food that is entirely not good, like cold or not cooked all the way? Had a terrible experience at Popeyes. Well, like I always tell the people who are commenting on my videos, make sure you go and have them make it right if something is not 100%. You know, you don't get a second chance to make a first impression when you do reviews. At least I don't. What I get is what I review. But if it's something that I'm doing off camera and it's something that's just not to my liking, of course you want to take it in there as well. Make sure they try and make it right. It could have been just a small issue. You know, it happens, but always let them try and correct it there. Don't just say, oh, this place is garbage, it's not worth it, and then that's pretty much it. You want to try, and if you really want it, you're going to go in and, to let them know what happened, see if they can fix it for you. Vivian, when do you go to the beach in LA? Which beach you usually go to? You know what? The last time I was actually the day after 4th of July, July 5th, earlier this month. I went to Hermosa Beach and did some bike riding with my wife and my brother-in-law, and it was a lot of fun to do. So that was definitely the last time I'd gone. And believe it or not, it'd been so many years before that riding a bike. So I definitely want to get back into it. I almost want to buy one now, just so I can have and do my thing, because I'm getting kind of bored with just doing the usual cardio thing and all my exercise routine. I'd like to probably do something more with a bike and do something along those lines, and maybe even go further. Larry Nguyen, will you go to the Michael Myers house for Halloween? I've done that a couple of times. I've done some stuff in the past as well. Just take a look at, I think I have a Halloween inspired playlist on my channel, if I'm not mistaken there. But some of the live stream replays and stuff that we've done in front of the Michael Myers house. The Cheetos Bag of Bones, when they first came out originally, not like since they re-released it, I did that in front of the Michael Myers house. Do a search for that. But I'll probably see if I can maybe do something. It depends upon how things are in that area. Even though, like I said, everyone is still trying to get back to normal and do things, it still doesn't feel like 100% just yet. But we'll see. Dr. Wiggles, thanks, man. Love your videos. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. I'm glad you're digging the content. Always lots of fun. So good times indeed there. Good times. James Morrison, ever thought about dressing as Dr. Loomis for Halloween? I'm actually always Michael Myers, believe it or not. Because I have in there with it. I'd probably have to put on just a ton of weight, put on like the half beard, shave my head, put on the trench, and do my thing. So I'd much rather just, have my little, my one piece that I put on, my garage outfit with the zip in the front. It's one piece, and put the mask on and the knife. Michael Domayer, I remember you go back through the drive-through one more time on live. Yes, I'm definitely going to be doing something like that in the near future. I want to get back to doing those lives outside through the drive-thru, usually at Jack in the Box, because I know the service is amazing where that is. So maybe we'll see about trying to do that as well. We'll get back to that too, just as kind of a change of pace naturally as well. So it should be a good time. It should be a good time. It's the Halloween season, like I said, and it's definitely something to look forward to as the season goes here. Mike, what video games are you playing now? Nothing at the moment. I still have The Last of Us Part 2 that I'm about, I want to say almost halfway through, but I stopped a couple of weeks back, and I try and tiptoe back into it. But this last couple of weeks have been crazy for me in terms of just creating content. My messenger, my email, and people reaching out, contacts of things coming up. It's just a lot. It's a lot to do. That's why sometimes I feel like I wish I can review it all for you all in one day and have it all produced, but these things take time at the same time. But I love when the end of the month rolls around, because then I can look back on the whole month previous, the current month, and take a look at everything that's come out and just realize that, man, there's been a lot of really AAA products that have come out that hopefully I've done them justice for you guys when I create my content, because I always want to give you the most in-depth detail that I can on a lot of these things, at least visually on top of what I can add to it verbally. But it's definitely fun to do. So always count on that stuff. Always count on that stuff. Let's see. Yes, have you seen it? It's a classic movie from the early 90s with Keanu Reeves and Winona Ryder and Gary Oldman. Absolutely, as Dracula, Bram Stoker's Dracula. I enjoyed that one, actually. Pretty good. Especially when what happens to Lucy, which was pretty crazy. It was pretty nuts. Drew, check Walmart for the fruity cereal Kit Kat. Okay, cool. Cool. I actually have to go to Walmart in the next day or so, to be honest. So I'm going to be kind of taking a look. The Walmarts in my area are kind of boo-boo. I mean, a lot of the stuff that I see coming out, we just don't get it here. And when it does finally come out, it's old news. So it is what it is. So let's see here. Stephanie, if you could bring back one discontinued fast food item, what would it be? Wow. Well, aside from the Volcano menu at Taco Bell, because that's at the top of my head right now, that Volcano Quesarito was pretty banging when I reviewed that there. The Midnight Melt Taco, which was a test market Taco Bell item that I checked out, I want to say about a little over a year ago. And actually, I think it would be perfect for Halloween if they did that, using blue corn. If you haven't seen that video, take a look at that. Taco Bell actually has their main headquarters in Irvine, California, which is about 40 miles away from me here. So it's actually pretty easy to get to. So that a lot of the surrounding locations, they usually do test market items. So that's definitely something to look into. But naturally, whenever they do those things and those things come out, I want to try and do those test market items, like the plant-based naked chicken chalupa, which was kind of cool to do a few weeks back as well. So I'd probably say the Volcano Quesarito or the Midnight Melt Taco. I'd like to see that go national at some point, because I just think it looked cool on top of it just being tasty in general. And because of the oils of the meat, it actually turned the blue corn purplish. So it looked even crazier. Be perfect for Halloween. I'm just saying, it's just what it is. Let's see. Larry Nguyen, which Walmart do you go to? Well, there's two of them. There's one in Monterey Park. There's one in Duarte, I want to say. It's like closer to the 605 freeway. It's like the two main ones in our area that are right there. Michael Domeyer, I believe it was the Jack because something wasn't right. Yes, actually, I think they messed up on something and I had to go through the drive-thru again. I think there was something that just wasn't 100% with that. I remember. It was a Jack and one of the cheesy fries, I think it was, Mike. I think that's probably what that is. Should probably check that out. Derek says he'd bring back the Whopperito. That was decent, you know, for Whopper goods on the inside. It is what it is. It was fun reviewing that actually with Matt Zion from Reckless Eating. That was fun to check out. Mike, bacon cheeseburger burrito from the 90s, and it had Big Mac sauce. Oh man, that sounds good. That sounds good. And yes, Dom, the nacho fries are back for the 17th time, it feels like. Wish they could just leave it on the menu. Agreed. But then again, what they install, they bring out, they take it away again. It is what it is. Welcome to the channel, Pearl Haggard. Appreciate you subscribing. That's awesome. Good times, guys. Good times. Well, it's been a couple of weeks, literally week before last, since I saw you guys. But like I said, you guys have had that content all throughout the week as well. I appreciate all the comments on the videos as well, the direct comments too. Really appreciate that. You guys already know I love to create for you guys. I love to create with a passion anyway. It's what I love to do. But just having you guys enjoy the content and look forward to it, and even try and send me things like, oh, you should check this out. You should check this out. You should check that out. That type of thing. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Drew, found out they're putting Papa John's here in town. Nice. Very cool. And you got some stuff to look forward to with that, Drew. Because I'm sure I believe the Epic Stuffed Crust pizza is, I think that's going to stay on the menu, I believe. That was introduced actually right before the year began. So, and it's been going for a minute now. It's been going for a minute. Vivian George, have I visited Beverly Hills to see celebrity houses? Nope. I haven't been to Beverly Hills in a while. No reason to go there unless I'm going on the way to somewhere at the same time. But nope. Ben Nguyen, Taco Bell needs to make a new box for the Mexican pizza and bring it back. You know what? With all the hoopla with it and the way people have been jumping on that ever since there, it's funny how it's always been on the menu and nobody could give 2 cents about, you know, the fact that it's there, right? And then once they take it away, everyone loses their mind. It's hilarious. I actually reviewed that. I want to say it was like 2 months, I think, or so before they announced they were removing it. So I was glad to get that review in at least, you know, just to kind of have that on the channel. It's part of the reason I did that. I love filling in the gaps of certain things that are normal, regular items on menus. Like when you see my Domino's reviews, I mean, everything I produce is something I want to produce. I don't have to do it. I want to do it. That's the goal. Everything that you're seeing that's put out there is something I want to do because I'm curious about what it is. So being that Domino's doesn't come out with a lot of new stuff, you know, sometimes they do. The last thing they did was the cheeseburger pizza and the chicken taco pizza. I like the idea of just being able to do that, you know, basically just putting out the stuff that's been out there, because there's always something to review. For those of you guys who are just getting into this game, it doesn't have to always be the newest thing that comes out every single time, although you want to get that out there as well. I understand that. But there's so much else on the menu that you can actually make videos on. There's always something for content. Always something for content. Let's see here. Mike, who in this chat has never tried certain food item Ian has had? For me, it's Church's Chicken. You know, I just had their campfire chicken because they're about to remove that off the menu. I'm sure of it any day now, because it's been about a month or so. So every time I go in there, it's funny because the manager always asks me, he's like, "Oh, are you filming something today?" I said, "Nope. I'm just here to pick up the campfire chicken. I have a feeling it's going to be going away soon." That thing is fire. I'm telling you guys right now, that campfire chicken, it's a whole half mini chicken for $5 with a biscuit and a side, and it is just banging. It is banging. I get that with a vanilla large iced coffee from Mickey D's for 99 cents in the app, and I'm good. And then I'm good. But good times with that there. Michael, looking back, it was the Chipotle chicken fries. Okay. That's what that was. Yes, it was a Jack in the Box situation. I remember that too, Mike. That was a fun video to make because we had a lot of fun, I believe, going to the drive-thru and just chatting it up with the employees in the drive-thru window. It was really good. Randy Molina, the salted caramel brownie Oreos, delicious. Yes, agreed. This was fun to check out, guys. Definitely fun to check out. Probably be having a couple more of those a little bit later on tonight while I'm plugging away on editing still. But really, really good stuff. Really, really good stuff. Man, I have direct messages popping in all over the place here. It's been very hard. It's been taking me a few days to try and get back to everybody. But for those of you who are sending me direct messages, believe me, I see them and I'm trying to get to everything that I can. Believe me, I just want to keep making that content and keep putting it out there for you. So I'm doing the best I can with what I've got, and I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your understanding as well. Larry Nguyen, they used to have Wendy's by my house. Now it's a 7-Eleven. Hey, that's not bad either. 7-Eleven is not bad either. Graphics, Domino's Italian sandwich is awesome. Loved your review on that. Thank you. I had a lot of fun putting those together. I knew right away when I did the first initial ones, I had to finish the group. I had to do all, I think there's like 7 of them, 6 or 7 of them. But I had a lot of fun putting those together as well. And again, it just adds another bit of content for the channel at the same time. So that's the goal, is to always give you guys a little something to look forward to every week. Have you seen it? Do you have Baskin & Robbins, Dunkin' Donuts, Krispy Kreme where you live in California? We have all of those. The closest to me, we do have a Baskin & Robbins locally. We have a few of them. Dunkin' Donuts we have actually in Pasadena, as well as in Atwater Village, which is a few cities over, which is what I used to go to before they opened in Pasadena. And Krispy Kreme, that's one of the reasons you don't see Krispy Kreme too much on my channel, is because it's literally on either end of the spectrum. I do have a few Krispy Kreme reviews, but it's usually because I'm either going to be out that way. I don't try and like go to it because it's a little bit out there. But that's part of the reason that I haven't done every single Krispy Kreme release, is because it's just not very close to me. But I do have a few things on the channel, and the stuff I've done has been fun as well. But not too far off. Let's see here. Drew, next week, what is this? I'm going to get refreshed at Subway and try the new sandwiches. You're hilarious, man. You are hilarious. Let me just tell you. Oh, it's good times. It's good times in there. You already know. Let's see. Mike, we do not have Culver's out this way. I would love to see a Culver's actually open up here in Southern Cali, or at least somewhere close to me. I would love to check it out. A lot of great stuff in there. The butter burgers, I think, is one. A few pretzel pub type of things they've done in the past. But in general, I hear really great things about Culver's. I've seen a bunch of reviews in the past from other creators, and it looks amazing. Vivian George, have you reviewed the Chicago deep dish pizza from Giordano's? I have not. Let's see. Have you seen it? Cool. Yes. I wish I had, like I said, Krispy Kreme a little bit closer, because I think I saw the Carnival Donuts, I think, is the latest thing that's out there. And Nishino is one of the reviews that I wanted to check out too there. He's been in my feed to take a look at Nishino. If you haven't watched, he used to be Crazy Tasty back in the day, but he calls himself Nishino now. He actually just did a review of those donuts as well. But really cool stuff. Really cool stuff. Derek, can't wait for Quiet Place 2. I saw that movie. It was amazing. Really nice addition to the Quiet Place universe that they're trying to build with that now. Very cool. And yes, Don't Breathe 2, interesting looking trailer for that one. Looking forward to that for sure. Absolutely. Let's see. Haven't been able to find halal guys in Pasadena still, Larry. Believe me, I know that when that stuff actually comes out, I definitely want to do that for sure. For sure. Let me see here. Dun, 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 dun. Appreciate that. There we go. All right, let's see here. So guys, as we round this one out here, I appreciate you guys jumping on right now. It's been, like I said, a very long couple of weeks at the same time, but the heat's beginning to kind of pull back just a little bit, which I'm thankful for, but the power issues, like I said, I didn't want to take a chance of anything happening last week on top of it there. The last thing I want to do is be in the middle of a stream and have everything go and then it's done. So we'll have to see. Sonic, drove past your old high school, Mark Keppel in Monterey Park. I live in Alhambra. Yes. Actually, I think Mark Keppel is considered part of Alhambra, even though Alhambra has its own high school, just over the bridge right over there. But yes, that is my alma mater, class of 1991. You already know. It's good times with that. Absolutely there. Let's see here. Going down the line. Who else do we have here? Ben, which fast food makes the best cookie? For me, it's Subway. Best fast food cookie? I like the sugar cookies from McDonald's, believe it or not. I know it's kind of like it is what it is, but I am definitely a fan of those particular cookies, personally. Of course, chocolate chip is decent there. I've heard great things about Arby's from back in the day as well, but I don't usually get dessert cookies like that from anywhere else. But Mickey D's has a special place in my heart because I'm always getting coffee from them. So naturally, I kind of dipped into doing a little bit of the treat stuff there. Aside from like the McFlurries and those things once in a while, their sugar cookies are bomb. They really are. They are absolutely bomb. Good times indeed. All right, guys. So I appreciate you guys jumping on here right now. I'm going to be here in the chat for a little while once the chat ends or once the stream ends. So if you guys wanted to try and type some stuff to me, I'll try and reply back as fast as I can. Let me jump on over here real quick. I'm very, very hungry right now. This has really set me off at the same time. So good times. I appreciate all my mods doing the do here in the chat as well. Thank you so much for doing what you do. I know a little bit of a stressful time tonight, but I appreciate you guys doing what you do here. And obviously to each and every one of you guys for being here tonight. Very, very appreciated. Like I always say, and you've heard me say ad nauseum at this point, you guys have choices when it comes to content on YouTube, and I appreciate you making my channel one of those choices as you make the rounds. The more quality content, again, the high quality foodie feature roll train just continues. August 15th is my 8-year anniversary, which I can't believe. I've been doing content every single week, multiple times for 8 years as of August 15th, which is crazy to think about. I mean, it's crazy to think about. The journey just continues. It's a lot of fun to do, and I love it. KS, what it do? Thanks so much for jumping on. I appreciate you. You stay frosty as well, Michael. Thanks so much for being here. Sonic, you stay healthy as well. Stay safe. I appreciate it. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys all have your heart in the right place. I love all of you guys, and I appreciate that. There's more positivity than negativity on our channel and our community, aside from a few here and there. But the positive side way outweighs the opposite. So I appreciate you guys being here right now. Stay frosty. Have a burger or 3 for me. You already know what it is, Drew. Before I get back to editing the good stuff for you guys, I'm going to grab a little bit of a late dinner as well. I've had hardly anything to eat today of substance. I got to remember to do that stuff. At least I'm drinking a lot of water at the same time. So we'll definitely see what goes on with that. But again, it's a wonderful situation, Mike. You already know what it is. Guys, again, shout outs to each and every one of you. Thank you so much. Take a look at the next piece of content coming out 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, Saturday, the 24th of July, 2021. And then you'll have this replay available to you on Sunday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. As always, I Want to Rock All Night from Kiss. Have you seen it? I don't remember that offhand, but I do listen to Kiss. But for some reason, I Want to Rock All Night, that sounds like Def Leppard for some reason. I don't know why. But it probably is. But even still. Jackie Hero Food Reviews, thanks so much for jumping on, definitely. And I definitely want to take a look at that collabo for the A&W sandwich, that chicken sandwich for sure with the Trips, another awesome content creator group that is on vacay right now. So I'm not assuming we would see them on this stream. I hope they're enjoying it. And if they're watching it, shout outs to you guys. I hope you enjoy it. Have a Corona for me. as well. So good times, definitely good times. All right, guys, again, I'm going to be here in the chat once this actually ends, so I'll try and chat away as much as I can before it times out. But again, thank you so much for joining. My name is Ian K, creator, producer, and host of Peep This Out. And like I always say, I've got brand new content every single week here on my channel. So why you stay tuned for that next review coming real soon. In the meantime, stay frosty. And definitely try and stay cool because it is no joke. The heat is just ridiculous right now. So with that, I know my boy Jay Nepper is not on here right now, but if he's catching this on the replay, my last comment is always back to him for his suggestion for how to actually end off some of these things. So with that said, let me jump on over here real quick and I will be here in the chat. Randy Molina, take care, take care. I appreciate you guys watching right now. You all stay safe. You guys enjoy your weekend and watch for the content to keep rolling in Saturday, Sunday, and we'll see about Monday, but then into Tuesday and then further on. There's a lot of fun stuff you guys are going to be seeing here. So more stuff to talk about on the next stream, and that will definitely be very, very soon. So with that, let me jump on over here. And again, I'll be here in the chat for a little while here once it times out. And we will talk to you guys very, very soon. So peace. I'm out.